Alright, so what is up, guys? The Strong Boys 19 here. Welcome back to another random live stream on my YouTube channel. And let's just hope that YouTube will not lag this stream this time, because it was such a pain in the ass from the ultimate amount of lagging issues from the last stream. And for those who have attended to that live stream back in June, I do apologize. But let's hope that this time around it will not happen like this again. So fingers crossed. Zach, how's it going, man? And welcome to these particular streams. Excuse me. So basically, just like with the usual, along with the updates of albums that I've been purchasing, it's just going to be another chilled hangout. And for those who have just tuned into this live stream, if you don't know, I have earlier on posted my review of the new Machine Head album of Kingdom and Crown, which, if you guys have not seen my review on that album, I've just posted it onto the channel, I think about more than an hour ago, so please do feel free to check out that review. And I am also planning still to do my review of the new Kendrick Lamar album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And I've still been taking notes, and I've saved my notes from the first half of this album, and I will be typing my notes on the second half of this album. Then I will do my review. I know that my review of this album is way long overdue, and excuse me, and very late, and I do apologize. But I am looking forward to review my first ever hip hop album to the channel. Sedition Through Scorns, Jake, what is up, mate? I hope you are doing very well. Early Notification Squad, what's up, Greg and crew? I've been doing really well, mate. Been very busy with Hard Graft, and we have got a lot of gigs to do, and we've got more than 10 booked and planned to go for the upcoming new year. And I believe we've got about close to 20 gigs to do left for the rest of this year. But it has been very, very fun and productive as always. And we've just been going through some new things that have been designed. We've got a new banner, and I will make a special announcement of something very, very cool. For those of you who follow Hardgraft on Facebook and subscribed to my band's YouTube channel, Hardgraft Band, all in one word, I will be mentioning it when the announcement will be all good to announce. So yeah, everything is just all busy. So yeah, although I will say that I have decided to pick up another guitar. Wait, you met Mick in Birmingham? I was there. Really, Zach? You mean Mick Thompson from Slipknot? From that signing the night before the We Are Not Your Kind show. Yeah, it was 2020 January. Yes, you are correct. Zach Hurley, I didn't know that you are a Brummie. I may be wrong about that, but if you are, that is awesome. If not, that's totally fine. Well, I guess I say I have met Mick in just a few seconds. Didn't really meet him and have a hangout with him because there were loads of other fans in front and behind me. For the guitar signing meet and greet. And I did have We Are Not Your Kind on vinyl signed by him, and I managed to get the self-titled album signed by him. Sorry about the reflection, that's just the laptop. As I'm looking through the screen and the chat during this live stream. But yeah, that is his signature, and that was his mask at the bottom. Yes, it was very quick. Yeah, it was, but it was an absolute pleasure to meet a Slipknot member. Although I did see Corey Taylor in person when he was promoting his Seven Deadly Sins book. I was just watching your review for the latest Machine Head album, and I'm going to check it shortly. I absolutely loved The Blackening by them, so this one I think will be decent. Yeah, I think the new Machine Head album, it was quite a surprise after listening to my first time experience of Kingdom and Crown, and it is a better album than Catharsis, but I will say that it's one Machine Head album that I will buy, because I have almost the rest of their discography. I'm not keen on planning to buy Supercharger because I'm not a fan of that record, or maybe I will just for the collection. But I am a fan of the Burning Red. For Catharsis, though, I'm not so sure about that. I took a green Jackson V. Awesome. Jackson V is a really good look of a guitar. And I believe that Mick is now playing through different Jackson guitars, because I know that he used to be an endorser of Ibanez. Jacksons are really cool guitars, and I do like Ibanez as well, but I just think that the signature series from Jim, they're like my kind of look, and I was going to buy a Jim Root signature, but I decided to buy another Gibson, as I've mentioned now. So I might as well show you that in a minute. I haven't bought a lot of stuff to show for this update, so I do apologize for that, guys. I believe he has new prototypes. Okay. Either Mick or Jim, because I know that Jim has been an endorser with the Fender Jazzmaster series for a long while. Guitar Storms, how's it going, mate? And I did see your comment, excuse me, on my Machine Head review. I'm doing great. Thank you very much for asking. I hope you are as well. How's things for you at your end? So, guys, I'm not going to be making this one as long as the last stream, which was, I think, over 2 hours. Before YouTube really made it difficult for me. I think by the 2 parts of my attempts on the last live stream, it was, I think, 2 hours total. So I may just do this one for an hour and a half, you know, just to be making this very simple and sweet. So for other videos coming up, I am planning to review the next Oasis album, Don't Believe the Truth, and I'm going to have a look at my radiomusic.com account of which other new albums I would like to review. Possibly the new Ozzy Osbourne album. The new Megadeth will be in the works. A new Suede album. Maybe new Behemoth as well. The Mars Volta was quite a surprise, because I really thought that they have stopped making music. I think, yeah, they have broken up, but they just decided to come back together. I'm looking forward to the new Megadeth next week, and going to spend time tomorrow listening to the new Machine Head record. Yeah, so, you know, like I said earlier, I have done my review on the Machine Head of Kingdom and Crown album, and I think it's very good. But if you want to see my full analysis on my words on that album, please check out the review. And as I just did post my review of it, over an hour ago or close to 2 hours. So yeah, I'm actually wearing a Machine Head t-shirt that I still got since I was in my teens, and this shirt is from the Blackening era, and the back of the shirt has lyrics of clenching the fists of dissent. Um, but yeah, I think that this new lineup of Machine Head is going to be something to continue the sound of the band in a different way. And I'm always the fan of the era with Dave McClain and Phil Demmel being in Machine Head. Mindful 28, formerly known as Be Mindful and Wise. I am doing very well, mate. And what's been going on at your end? So Mindful, I know you're just popping in. I'm gonna make this stream for an hour and a half this time, and just to keep things up and running very smoothly, and hopefully YouTube won't be really aggravating like what happened at the last stream. So I haven't bought a lot of albums to show, and I just can't remember which albums I did buy, but it's just not enough for me to do another update slash a Hangout live stream. But I am going to be showing you right now the guitar that I've purchased recently. So hang in there, guys, and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. So I am going to be unplugging my phone because I was charging it. Guitar Storms, what's your views on Pantera shows? Me personally, I seen them support Megadeth in '92 on the Countdown to Extinction tour, and I'm kind of a little disappointed in them without Diamond Vinny. There are some comments that I've been receiving saying that it's a celebration or, like a tribute. I stand by what Vinnie Paul said about his views on a Pantera reunion. It is a reunion that I think is just idiotic. And for me, being a Pantera fan, my words are just the same. And I think it is just as ridiculous and pompous. I know that some Pantera fans will be pissed at that, but I really don't care because my opinion matters. And, as Vinnie Paul was against the idea of reunions, of Pantera's name, it wouldn't work out. And now it had happened, and I just think it's stupid. Mindful 28, are you a fan of any post-Roots Sepultura albums? I know you picked up Danta 21 and Machine Messiah in updates. Yes, I really got to like some more of the Derek Green Sepultura. I think Roarback is a really good record. The Alex or Alex concept album based on A Clockwork Orange is not one of my favorites. One of my least favorite Sepultura albums, actually, along with Morbid Visions, their very first album. It's a sham, to be honest. I agree. Yeah, I really got to appreciate the later period of Sepultura, but it's really the Cavalera brothers all around that I do just just adore. So I'm gonna put this mobile here, so you may see more of this in the background. But here is the latest guitar purchase. Here it is. Now this is my very first Gibson Les Paul traditional, and I bought this because I wanted to have like the similar neck to my main guitar, which is a Gary Moore signature. This has a 50s neck because I am a big fan of thick necks on the guitar. And this is a light burst traditional guitar. So you see traditional right there. And that's what the back looks like. It's secondhand, by the way. I named this guitar Mick after Mick Taylor from the Rolling Stones because he's one of my favorite guitarists of all time, and he does play some similar type of Les Pauls, like in these types of bursts, and sound-wise is just brilliant, you know, and it tunes very nicely, plays great. The only thing is that I have to still adjust the comfortability of playing this guitar and lower the string heights, because I'm not that type of person that likes to buy a guitar with high string heights. I mean, none of my guitars are really high, but you can see the strings are like pretty close to the fretboard. But yeah, yeah, secondhand. There are two little holes. You may see that one, and there's one over there because there was the pickup, not pickup, scratch plate. Excuse me, that was already on this guitar. It was pre-owned, and its sound was just awesome. Different pickups, and that Gibson case, surprisingly, is Canadian, and I do love it. I know you've been sending comments, so I'm just gonna have a look at them now. And also, by the way, I never use a tripod for my mobile because I actually place this mobile on top of this laptop, so that's why the positioning for my reviews are like that. All Hope Is Gone is considered Slipknot's weakest album by many. Do you agree with this? I am going to be doing my review on All Hope Is Gone by Slipknot with a special guest that, if it will work out, with somebody who you may not know, or you may have known that it has been a very long time for me to do a video with one of my favorite reviewers and friends on the internet. So I'll keep you guys posted for that. That's a really cool guitar, Greg. Thank you very much. Whoa, I thought you had a Gary Moore one. I do, Zach. It's still my main guitar. And it is my favorite electric. Holy smoke, brother, it's absolutely gorgeous. May I ask the going price? You gotta do a demo playing and issues. I heard new Gibson factory rocks. I have a Gibson 2001 Gothic Flying V. That sounds awesome. I'm not really that kind of person that likes to be in that type of brag with just the amount of money that I spend on expensive instruments. Same goes with the records, because I don't want to be a person that likes to show off. But yeah, that sounds really cool. The Gibson 2001 Gothic Flying V. And I believe that Noel Gallagher is releasing his brand new Gibson signature series on his, I think, on his E335. No worries, Guitar Storms. But let's just say it is expensive, but it was well worth it. I will be possibly planned something. I will possibly plan something to maybe do a demonstration on that guitar, even though I haven't done these types of demonstration videos at all for the channel. Even though that I love watching Andertons to That Pedal Show, JHS pedals, you know, Rabia Massad. Yes, I saw you playing that in the Hargraf cover of Rage Against the Machine. Yeah, that Rage Against the Machine track is always one of our favorites to play. I have not listened to the new Ailstorm album, Seventh Rum of a Seventh Rum. Personally, because of what I've said about the whole controversy between Chris and what I'm on about. It's just because I don't want to be so involved with anyone who would call me out just because of this whole slurring and just the mentality about what had happened. For those of you who know about it, you know what I'm on about. So I think it's even better than Curse of the Crystal Coconut. I did like a lot of Curse of the Crystal Coconut, but I have not heard of the album yet. Do you use any guitar pedals in your rig? I do. I do have a guitar pedal board. Maybe one of these days I would like to just do a random video on various guitar videos, because it is my job being a guitarist, and I just think maybe to myself I could just do a video demonstrating which gear do I have and the pedals. I've been buying a few pedals, and my hair's a bit messy. Sorry. But I think to do demonstration videos on my new guitar and pedal board, it's just going to be very nice, and it's something that I could do for a change for the channel than just do my reviews. I mean, I will still do my reviews, obviously, but it's something different that I could just try out, since that I am a guitar fan and full-time musician. And you may see just these random CDs. Devin Townsend. That's another new album for me to review when it'll be out. New Devin Townsend album, Light Work. I know you've reviewed the new Porcupine Tree album. Have you checked out more of their previous albums? In Absentia, Deadwing, and Fear of a Blank Planet are all great. Excuse me. No, I have not yet. I've been meaning to check out Porcupine Tree. And I know that I did review Closure Continuation, which has stirred a bit of a reaction for some fans. As I was looking at my video section on the YouTube studio of my channel, my opinion is just my opinion. And I just don't think that the new Porcupine Tree is one of the best albums of the year. Not even the new Ghost album. And not even, not even some albums that some people love that I don't agree with, Yes, I would love that. I'm a guitar nerd, so that will be cool. Okay, Zach, I would like to do that. Guitar Storms, do a demo of it to All Along the Watchtower. I've seen it live with Hardgraft. You rock out on the solo, bro. Love it. Yeah, All Along the Watchtower is just a big jam. I mean, since Hendrix is my favorite guitarist and Dylan's one of my idols, you know, you know, what could be going wrong at all with my band covering that song? So the only thing is that I am planning to build some more originality into our repertoire because I've been really in the vibe of working on a lot of original songs with the band, and that's like a big goal that I would love to do for them. Um, but yeah, I could really go on about this because being in a creative mind is is very open. Mindful 28 again. Paul Gray is an underrated bassist. The Iowa title track, Skin Ticket, and Disaster Piece shows his skills as a bassist. It's sad both of him and Joey have passed away. Yeah, I know. Um, Paul Gray is still a significant role for Slipknot's music. I mean, he's one of the original founding members, alongside like Anders Kolsefny, um, Joey to Clown. You know, I actually am quite a big fan of knowing a lot of Slipknot's history. That's why that I have said a shit ton of stuff background wise, excuse me, on my review for Mayfeed Kill Repeat, and with the self-titled era of Slipknot to Iowa. Um, but my review for All Hope Is Gone with a special guest will be coming out to the channel, and I promise you guys that. But when, I have no idea, because um, you know, we all have to be busy outside of YouTube, but it has to be at the right time to make a video on a very big album like All Hope Is Gone. Um, yes, someone, by the way, has mentioned about me revisiting the classic albums revisited and the requested albums segment. I am going to be doing those, although I need to do my response to my latest Q&A that I've posted to the channel. If you want to ask me anything in my music Q&A little video, please ask me anything on that video, not on this live stream, because that video's been up for a while and I'm going to be doing my response to these questions in the coming week. Zach, sadly I have to go. Thanks for the stream, Greg. Bye. No worries, Zach. Thank you for tuning in. November 26th of this year will be the 20th anniversary for Steal This Album. Any plans on revisiting and or do a rank in their catalog? I mean, that could be something I would like to do, because there's no plans at all for System of a Down to come back with a brand new album. There's just no point. See ya. I'll be here next stream. Thank you very much again, Zach. I will be streaming once again in late October, and I will be just sorry. I will be just doing this kind of stuff, you know, again. By the way, guys, let me know if the audio and picture quality is a lot better than the last stream. Still, this album is an underrated System of a Down album, and so is Mesmerize and Hypnotize. I think still this album is very underrated, and my personal favorite underrated System of a Down album. It's my second favorite out of their whole discography, actually. Okay, see you there. I'll see you there as well, Zach. So I've been at a bit of a Pearl Jam phase again. Just revisited the debut album 10. That's not a signature. That's just a random price that's been drawn to the CD case. But this album is a classic, and I do love this record. This album is one of my favorite debuts of all time. I've just been listening to later ones like Yield and No Code, etc. And I think that they are really, really good albums. But 10 is like the one that is it's just so timeless. I mean, Alive just gives me goosebumps. Um, Pearl Jam's 10 still holds up over 30 years later. Every song is amazing. Yes, I mean, it is just a great album. Uh, Versus and Vitology are also really good Pearl Jam albums. I do have Vitology on double vinyl pressing. It's a remaster. I need to listen to that one. You got me to look into Slipknot's big catalog. I think you're a great inspiration to seek out new music. I really appreciate that, Guitar Storms, because I'm just a guy listening to music, talk about music, and review anything that I would like to review. And Iron Claw, I have not heard the name of Iron Claw at all. I wonder what type of music it is. Guitar Storms. Sorry about that, guys. An ice lolly. But yeah, is Iron Claw a band, Guitar Storms? I don't think you've mentioned them before. So yeah. So I am going to be continuing on to do a lot of the gigs and rehearsals with Hard Graft. And there's still a lot to do. There's still a lot to do for the band. Oh, it's perfect, audio and video. Thank you very much, Guitar Storms. Because I really wanted this whole thing to work. And let's just hope there's no interaction that's going to happen for this live stream. Anyway, I'm going to move on from that. And speaking of other videos, I did mention that I was going to do my anniversary video for Exile on Main Street by the Rolling Stones. I am going to be doing that one still, but I guess it just has to be whenever I like to do it. It's still going to be an anniversary celebration video because it's my favorite Rolling Stones album, and it is one of my top 10 double albums of all time. But yeah, I've got other videos coming ahead, like new album reviews, obviously. I'm also going to be reviewing Freedom by Neil Young. For those of you who have seen a community section post on my channel that I'm going to be reviewing one of my most favorite Neil Young albums. Freedom is one of them. Exile on Main Street is such a great double album, and it's my favorite Rolling Stones album as well. There is just a lot to really discover and dive into. I have actually bought a book just about the whole vibe about when Exile on Main Street became a thing, and I will be showing you guys that book when I'll be celebrating the anniversary. I know that the album turned 50 back in May time, but I'm still going to be doing it. And also, I still need to listen to this, the new Saxon album. Hopefully, it will be as good as many people say that it is, because Saxon is a band that I always have wanted to check out. Oh, my neck. Iron Claw is 70s Black Sabbath. Okay, it will blow your mind. That sounds really good. And I like to discover new things. So Iron Claw does sound pretty promising. Have you checked out Mike Patton's other bands such as Fantomas and Tomahawk? Yes, I have. Mindful 28. I love Mike Patton. Fantomas is a band that I am more of a fan of. And I'm also really glad that Patton is back into making music, because I think there's a new Dead Cross album coming out. But I still wish him the best, because I know he's struggled with mental health, and I think that he has been diagnosed with, I think, agoraphobia, which is, I think, the fear of being around with people. Um, I think that is correct. If you can put on YouTube, check them out. Well, I'm always on YouTube whenever I just chill or just make videos and put my videos up on my YouTube channel. So um, I would like to check out Iron Claw. So what have you been listening to, guys? Either new albums or previous era albums? Like I said, I've mentioned about Pearl Jam, gone back to Neil Young, um, Oasis. I love Mike Patton. His delivery and consistency with his vocals and lyricism is so ahead of his time, and he will always be a top favorite of mine. Same here. So, for songwriters and people in music, I heard Tony Iommi heard their demo and the sound of Black Sabbath was born, but forums will say Iron Claw copied Black Sabbath. Seriously, it will blow your mind. Okay, I will have to check out Iron Claw, as I've just said. Guitar Storms. So after you mentioned Tony Iommi, I am more than eager to check them out. I was totally shocked when I heard them. Yeah, I bet you are. Right, so since I've mentioned that I'm just going to make this stream an hour and a half, I will be leaving by 10:30 tonight. It is 25 to, which is 35 minutes past 9 in the evening where I'm at. Just to, make things, I think, easier for myself and for you guys, because I know that time difference, I know is a bitch, but I don't want to be, one of these people that just likes to stream for way, way too long. Let's have a look at the reception of the new Machine Head review that I've posted. It's a pretty good reception, and I can't believe that my Five Finger album review has got a lot of attention, and people are a bit heated with it at the moment. But it is the way it is. So, right, I'm gonna have this this lolly and try not to act awkward whilst I'm eating, because I don't want this to be, fully melted. Oh dear. I agree with you on the new Five Finger Death Punch album. They have been recycling the same album since American Capitalist. I forgot to say in my review, now that you've mentioned American Capitalist, I was going to say, obviously I forgot at the time, that I thought the album covers, especially American Capitalist, to be absolute cringe. My opinion, obviously, but that is one of the cheesiest album covers ever. I've been listening to Carcass, Napalm Death, Cataclysm, Marduk, Trivium, Suffocation, Dark Tranquility, My Dying Bride, Swallow the Sun, Cradle of Filth, and Nile as of lately. Some really good selections there. I hope that the new Behemoth album is going to be pretty good. I did like I Loved You at Your Darkest, but it's not that strong of an album to me. The Satanist is one of Behemoth's best albums in ages. I'm listening to MGLA. I don't think I'm familiar with that. Mindful at Jake, great bands sedition. I actually picked up Niles Amongst the Catacombs of Nephron Ka, and Vinyl Neurotic Rights, or Ville. I don't know, words. I have got some of their discography on CD, but I need to buy In the Darkened Shrines, the first album, as you said, and I'm not going to buy At the Gates of Seth, though, because I hate that album's production. And I also do have Those Whom the Gods Detest. Behemoth Can't Stop, their earlier albums like Demigod, the Satanist, is their peak in my opinion, but I still love the band regardless. Yeah, Demigod is maybe my favorite Behemoth album. What's the pickups in that great Gibson you bought? I think they're just regular humbuckers, but on my Gary Moore signature, it has the reverse pickup, because that guitar was inspired by Peter Green's Les Paul. But these pickups are quite different tone-wise, and it is a big difference when I have been messing around with the volume controls. Because with the Gary Moore signature, the controls are so instant in terms of sound, but with Mick, it has to do with a separate form of tone. So when you turn the guitar pickup volumes down, it gets really clean, but when you turn it up, you have to get that fuller sound if you want, if you want a lot of drive or distortion. Yeah, but I do love that guitar. I Love You at Your Darkest is the weakest Behemoth album. To me, The Satanist and Demigod are their best. I Loved You is not a bad album, but I just think it's sometimes repetitive and it doesn't deliver in that progressive way, because with The Satanist is so destructive by nature, and it's full of these terrific technicalities that the songwriting on that album does approach at one of Behemoth's strongest paths. Yeah, you and your ice pop comment. So I have no idea what video I'm going to be posting up next. Maybe my my small Isle of Wight holiday video, or my long, late, overdue first time album reaction to the new Kendrick Lamar new Kendrick Lamar album. The things I do for these streams, I just fuck up various words. I need to come back to streaming on Twitch again, because the last time I had done a stream, it was through just random music listenings while I just interact. MGLA, a Polish black metal band. It means in English fog. Okay, sounds pretty cool. The new Kendrick Lamar is my favorite hip-hop album of the year. It's much better than Damn. I personally do agree on that. There's no bad album or weak record from King Kendrick. I did like Damn, but I think that Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is a challenge for many listeners, but I like it for that reason. It's at some points difficult instrumentally to like really get into what's going on, because it just makes so much attention to the listener. You may think that like, what is this? But I find that this new Kendrick record is very creative, and it is possibly his bravest record yet. Obviously, I won't say enough views about the album on this stream, because I will say a lot more in my review. I am looking forward to review this album with a lot of my info, what I think about the album. But let's just say I think that it is going to be in my top 15 albums of the year. Do you think Opeth's Blackwater Park is overrated? Or do I still think, sorry, um, I think it's one of their best after Still Life. I still think that way. But Blackwater Park is a very good record. I will still think that Still Life, as you mentioned it, is one of the stronger albums. And um, oh fucking hell, what's the other Opeth album that's my favorite at the moment? Sorry about this, guys. Just it's just not in my brain at the moment. Deliverance, that's it. Deliverance is my favorite Opeth album at the moment. Damnation was really good too. The only Opeth albums that I need to buy on CD are Pale Communion and their latest one from 2019. But the others I do have on CD. Although I do have Still Life on double vinyl, a Peaceville Records reissue, I think. But yeah, I really do like a lot of Opeth because I am always into their heavier sound than the prog rock style. But I need to give that direction of Opeth a lot of credit. As I've mentioned before, that I was not all that pleased with Pale Communion when that came out. And that was at the time, actually, for me, that I was really getting into prog rock. Maybe it's because that it was too new at the time for me, and I was not really diving into it properly. But now that I've been opened enough to love a lot more of the prog rock scene, I might as well, give it a fair shot. And I do have Sorcerer on CD. I know some fans have given that album a bit of flack. I don't mind the later prog rock era of Opeth, with the exception of Watershed. Watershed, that's a really good one too. But I still go back to My Arms, Your Hairs, Still Life, and Orchid. Yeah, I do feel the same way. But I think Deliverance maybe will always be my favorite Opeth record. Although it has been a long while since I've last listened back to Opeth. It's just new albums I've been listening to this year. And a lot of strapping young lad, Devin Townsend, as I've been getting back into that bug of listening to Devin's solo stuff. Have you listened to Soilwork's new album? I think it's very good. I'm not going to pronounce that. I forgot what it means in English. Sorry. No, I have been meaning to check that album out and possibly review it. It's a maybe. I haven't done album reactions for a long while now. I think a break from that segment is maybe worth it because there was not much of that attention going on. I mean, I still really like that idea, and I still defend my choice of speeding up the videos because I don't want copyright claims whatsoever anymore because I've had enough of that, aggravation from YouTube. Even if I try, it would be just ridiculous because sometimes it just comes under fair use, but things have just gone worse. But yeah, I am going to be checking out the new Soilwork record since that the first time I've heard The Living Infinite, I was like, I was just in. Because I really enjoy Soilwork. After seeing your video on the latest Concern from the new Slipknot album coming, I'm on the same fence as you. I think they're consistent and don't want to make the same formulaic tone all the time. Some people may see that very differently. They may think that it is just Slipknot being Slipknot, and I understand that, and I do agree. But I think that this newer era of Slipknot is very interesting. Despite what I personally have said about my thoughts on We Are Not Your Kind when I reviewed that album very positively, I still stand by my views on what the new Slipknot album has been for me so far. This ice ice lollipop is melting a bit. There are some new. Oh shit! It's melting. Fuck. Hang on. Ah, fucking hell. It's melted. Sorry. Sticky fingers. Distracted by the melting. Yeah, made a stain. Don't quote that out of context. Slipknot's upcoming new album. I am still looking forward to hear what's going on, but it's just not that. It's not that approachable for me, like what We Are Not Your Kind was. So fingers crossed. Still. Let's have a look here. We Are Not Your Kind was a great album from the modern era of the band and a much more stronger and detailed record they've done probably since Volume 3 personally. I feel the same way. And speaking of Slipknot, Iowa just celebrated its 21st anniversary. Pretty cool. Unpopular opinion, I think Mayhem's debut is a bit overrated. The riffs are good, but I'm not a fan of Attila's vocals. His vocals on later albums like Daimon and Esoteric Warfare are much better. That's fair enough. There are just classic albums that I don't get the hype about or just don't like at all. Besides ones that I've already said that I think are overrated. But, I think one of the most overrated albums of all time is Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, because I never liked to hear just the amount of obvious, annoying repetitions of songs like Sweet Child of Mine, Paradise City, and Welcome to the Jungle. But really, I just don't like Guns N' Roses that much anymore. I've been avoiding them. And I know that stirs people off, but it's just what I wanted to say. And that's personally what I think. So yeah, Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses is to me one of the top most overrated albums of all time. I never liked Guns N' Roses. It's not because of the music, it's the radio play of the hit singles drew me away. Yeah, there is that. But it's Axl Rose as well that I just really can't stand. I know that I've mentioned Guns N' Roses first for bands that I think are overrated. And for me, when I said they're overrated, I mean they're overrated in like the most overrated way and not in a a positive way. Because there are some bands I've mentioned in that video that I think are overrated that I do respect. Guns N' Roses is not one of them. My opinion, obviously. I actually just need to stop saying that because I just wanted to say anything that may stir some reactions and just think, like, just accept these words the way it is. Pardon me. I think Slash deserved better for his time with the band, but when he was with Velvet Revolver, he was way more diverse with his guitar playing. I think that Velvet Revolver were a very enjoyable band. I mean, Slither's still a really good song, and it does have quite a killer guitar riff. I really think with the adventurous ways of Slash as a guitarist, there is a lot of that. There's a lot of that diversity in Slash's techniques, in other projects like Velvet Revolver. I know that Guns N' Roses was like the big band, but I find with Velvet Revolver, I can see the appeal why they are different to GNR. especially for Slash as a very explorative guitarist. Velvet Revolver is still amazing since I'm a Stone Temple Pilots fan. I love how they had Scott Weiland as their singer. Yeah, that was really unexpected about what happened to Scott. But I think that Velvet Revolver were one of the first non-metal bands that I did like the sound of. Yeah, so I do appreciate Slash as a guitarist, and I really like his own skills, because while I don't like Guns N' Roses, as I've said many times now, I always have a lot of respect for Slash. Call me crazy, but I didn't know that he's from London, and I always thought that he was American because of Guns N' Roses being an American band. I don't know what's wrong with me. So I think that Slash is still a great guitarist, and some of his tones are just as brilliant and as instantly recognizable. Just like with Clapton and Iommi, etc. And Slash is one of those guitarists that I have been supporting with because of his talent. And I'm not knocking anyone off who is a Guns N' Roses fan, but I just still defend my personal opinion about Guns N' Roses as a whole, and especially Axl Rose. Have you checked out Emperor's Anthems of the Welkin at Dusk? No, not yet, mate. It's almost as good as In the Nightside Eclipse. I only have In the Nightside Eclipse, but I need to listen to the later directions of Mayhem's discography. I've heard that they are way different. Just like I feel with Jeff Loomis, he was phenomenal with Nevermore. But now since he's in Arch Enemy, they've done him dirty, and I think he deserved way more appreciation for his efforts. I don't know what Jeff went through, but Loomis is another wonderful guitarist. I remember him doing a clip of just this trend of Bet You Can't Play This. That was the first ever time I just watched Jeff Loomis out of the blue, and I thought his skills were amazing, and I have a lot of respect for him. So he's another one that I do appreciate. I know that now that you've mentioned Arch Enemy, they have released a new album, but I have not listened to that one. I just think I have reviewed quite a lot of albums that I may review a few more very positive ones. There were some albums that are on my list of my favorite albums of the year so far that I wish I could have reviewed. I really, really wanted to do them, but oh, for fuck's sake, itchy ears, stop it. But I didn't want to make a lot of my reviews be posted really, really late. Yet alone, I have reviewed the new Van Morrison album pretty late, but I'm surprised with the attention of that review. I knew it's going to be pretty bombastic with negativity. Yeah. The new Black Midi album is really good, and to me, their best yet. I agree, Mindful 28. Hellfire is absolutely going to be one of my top 10. It's one of my top 10 albums of the year, alongside with the other non-metal albums, like Everything Was Beautiful by Spiritualized, and Kendrick, obviously, with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. But I think that my top 5 could be my top 5. I think there are some albums that I would rate them a little bit higher. Like I could rate some of the albums I gave 8.5 out of 10s, I could give them a bit of a boost up to 9 out of 10, because I am tempting to give the albums from the 8.5 out of 10 scale a bit more credit, a bit more love. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock here, guys, so I'm going to be wrapping this up in about half an hour. But this has been a really, really nice stream for what it is, and I'm really glad that there's no problems going on, unlike last time. But thank you so much to anybody here who's been here either from the start or now. So half an hour left, guys. Spiritualized is a band I've heard great things about, but have never checked out. Spiritualized are a UK-based space rock, experimental rock style band. Their new album, Everything Was Beautiful, is very, very, very good. It's got beautiful melodies, a variety of sounds, and it's pretty out there in that progressive way. I forgot to add that I also have been listening to Gorillaz, mainly their debut album. Yeah, I really like debut album of Gorillaz a lot. I mean, it is my favorite across their discography. Excuse me. I do have Demon Days on vinyl, but I've not played that one yet. Although I think Plastic Beach is another really, really good album. I've not heard of the Now Now, or The Fall, or Song Machine yet. I've heard very mixed things about Humans. Gorillaz' debut is very good, but my favorite is Demon Days. Yeah, the song Dare with Shawn Ryder from Happy Mondays, that has given me a lot of nostalgia, because that's one of the first pop singles that I did listen to, and I always have a lot of nostalgia. Shawn Ryder's birthday was just a few days ago, and you know, as much as I do love the Manchester music scene, I still think Shawn Ryder is a legend. Yeah, Gorillaz is a band that I always would like to listen to over Blur. Says that after what I've just said, for me being an Oasis fan, but Blur is a band that I actually do respect. However, I think Gorillaz is more of my kind of sound from Damon Albarn, in my opinion. Happy Mondays is a great band too. Pills and Thrills and Bellyaches is a good album. Yes, I haven't got all their albums, but I do have Bummed and Pills and Thrills and Bellyaches, as you've said. I remember being a kid just blown away seeing the music video for Clint Eastwood when MTV played good music, and seeing those visuals for its time was really creative. Clint Eastwood was another very strong song from Gorillaz. And I do think that their music videos are, like, as you say, really creative. And I think that is one of the best parts about Gorillaz as a whole. And it's a really neat idea, just like what Brendan Small has done with Metalocalypse for Death Clock. I miss early MTV, back when they had Headbangers Ball, as well as Beavis and Butthead. I love Beavis and Butthead very much. RJCJ Rock just joined. Am I too late? I know you've popped in here, but I'll say this again. I will be leaving by this time in about half an hour, because I want to make this stream just, very chill, like the previous streams, but to end it in a very comfortable way, in just to have it in a very acceptable timing to just relax, and hopefully not to deal with YouTube's problems from what happened to the last stream. But RJCJ Rock, nonetheless, thank you so much for popping in here. Speaking of the new Beavis and Butthead, the new season is really amazing. If you have Paramount Plus, definitely give it a whirl while it's still the same humor from the original show. I don't have Paramount Plus, and I still have not watched Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe yet. Do America is one of my favorite films of all time. Um, and yeah, I have a lot of nostalgia by watching Do America on repeat. And yet alone that it's one of those films that still gets a bit of a mixed reaction, but it did have a pretty cool soundtrack. Um, and the film is just it's really it's just random, but Beavis and Butthead being themselves, you know, and even Beavis and Butthead's appearance at the David Letterman show. Thoughts on Midwest emo, referring to bands such as American Football, Sunny Day Real Estate. I think you have asked me this in a new Q&A video that I will be doing. I'm not saying my answers here, but let's just say on the emo genre, it's not my cup of tea. But yeah, I apologize, RJCJ Rock. I still have that comment, that question from that video that I will be answering. I'm going to be doing that video in just a few days, actually. So, yeah. Pardon me. Oh, gosh. So, I think that there are many other genres that loads of people do love that I just have never been a fan of. Like the deathcore genre to the dubstep genre, and I'm not really a fan onto the current state into metalcore. I mean, metalcore as a genre did have a lot of purpose back in the heyday. Bands like Trivium, To Kill Switch Engage, and one of my favorite underrated ones, Shadows Fall. But I just don't think the genre in later years has been that relevant or just as just attachable for me. Any movies you watched recently? I saw Top Gun Maverick yesterday, and it was well worth the wait. Decades in the making, which personally I liked it more than the original, really. I really liked Top Gun Maverick. And it's really sad, though, to see Val Kilmer's state. What he looked like in that brief performance in that film, that's what he's going through in actual reality. So that really sucks. He has to have foods through a feeding tube now because he can't eat properly anymore. And that's the way his voice is, which is a big shame. But Top Gun, I do like Top Gun. I've also seen the new Elvis film, which is okay. It's not that amazing. I mean, Tom Hanks did a really good job. But, I mean, I know that members from the Presley family approved it and really liked it. But I don't know. It's not that much of a strong film to me. Converge, Botch, and the Dillinger Escape Plan, yes, are also good old school metalcore bands. Yeah, I really like Converge. I haven't bought anything from them at all. And I do like a bit of Dillinger Escape Plan. I've not heard of Botch, actually. I nearly cried when I saw Val Kilmer in the movie, and I still like his work during the time when Tombstone was released, and that movie is one of my childhood favorites. I really respect Val Kilmer as an actor. I need to review more movies again, and I'm going to be reviewing various different films. I know that my movie reviews segment is not as popular on my YouTube channel, but I did have a thing of reviewing random films, and I think I would like to review maybe the Jaws franchise, um, or Apocalypse Now. I don't know. So yeah, I'll have to think about it. I've recently revisited the X Factor by Iron Maiden. I really like it now. Great album. That's brilliant. You know, I still do not get the hate on that album. What do you think of the new Halloween movie coming out this year? I think that they are going to be finalizing the franchise um, at this point. I have not seen the last Halloween film after the 2018 reboot. I've only seen, well, the last time I've seen a Halloween film was that film. I've heard bad things about the follow up, and Halloween Ends. I think that they hopefully will be finishing the franchise just like that. The franchise has been always messy and is inconsistent with way too many different directions and characters. Um, and I actually have been a fan of the franchise, despite that this franchise is just one of the messiest out of all of the very popular horror ones, with all these legendary icons. Look for the Truth, and Fortunes of War, sorry, are my favorites on the album. Blood on the World's Hands is underrated as well. I think Look for the Truth is a really good song. And same with Blood on the World's Hands. I think The Unbeliever is one of my top 10 favorite Maiden songs still. I love that track as a great finale to finalize the record. It's a brilliant finish. Since Sedition mentioned Top Gun Maverick, I realized that Lady Gaga did part of the soundtrack. I'm not a fan of her music, but she does have talent. It's really funny. I have never at all been a fan of Lady Gaga's pop music, but around the time for the pandemic in the UK, I did see a performance of Lady Gaga playing the piano, and doing her proper singing, and I think it was a charity event to celebrate the NHS with their hard work. And I think she sounded amazing. She's a really good singer and a great pianist as well. Yeah, that's the thing that I really like with pop musicians, that they make music that I either do not like or just don't care about. Lady Gaga does have talent still. I remember that I used to just detest Lady Gaga, but now that I've grown to have, an opened mindset to really know what they're all about with their talents, Lady Gaga is a very, very cool singer. Um, I think she's really good as an actress as well. Although it's quite an unexpected decision that it's going to be a sequel to Joker, but to turn it as a musical with Lady Gaga in the film and Joaquin Phoenix reprising his role as the Joker. I can't believe they have decided to make this idea after Joker being one of the most celebrated films of all time to this point, with a very serious mental health topic from that film's direction to this. I really do not know how well it's going to turn out to be, because I was totally against it the moment I have found out about it. I respect her majorly, not just because of her views in doing music, but she's so accepting and open to whatever she is obligated to discuss, and not to say she's a huge metalhead at heart. Yes, she is as well. Well, I can't believe the Grammys of Metallica and Lady Gaga happened that way. It was a mess. And we obviously know that Hetfield was pissed off. He threw his guitar after their song. I forgot which song they played together before the end of their brief set, or I think it's just one song they played. Yeah. So I think that I'm going to wrap this up in 15 minutes, guys. I have another video idea that I would like to do, which is a segment that I would talk about what I consider to be one of the 15 worst album covers of all time. Because I've been planning that on my own, and I'm also going to be reviewing a new installment to Classic Albums Revisited for Slow Dive's album Sovlaki. And I'm looking forward to that one. You just reminded me of Joker since I revisited the Dark Knight trilogy a while back, and I firmly believe Heath Ledger was the best Joker out of the casting members who played the role. Just one of the best performances of all time. And Heath's performance as the Joker is just sublime. I think that Cryptic Writings is an underrated Megadeth album. I'm also looking forward to their upcoming album, which I think will be better than Dystopia and Super Collider. Oh, I bet it will be better than Super Collider. Although I've not heard of Dystopia yet. And I have not still gone back to the band and reviewed Risk. So that is something that I will have to do. So yeah, I always really liked quite a lot of Megadeth, but excuse me. But Risk is an album that I will say maybe has moments. Even myself would say the same. Tom Hardy, yes, he's a brilliant actor. Portraying Bane was miles better than the comic version of the character, and even myself, not a comic fan, it says something. I've not seen The Dark Knight Rises yet, but The Dark Knight is just brilliant. The bassist of a now defunct late 90s obscure post-hardcore band called Relative sent to me an extremely rare CDs from his band. They only released one album in 2001 and broke up in 2002. That sounds really cool. Obscure post-hardcore band. I've not heard of Relative at all, RJCJ Rock. So I don't know what they're like, obviously. Which albums I'm going to be buying? I am confident to buy the new Machine Head album. Oh, Shizazzle! How's it going? I'm doing really well, mate, but I unfortunately will have to leave in 10 minutes. But I really appreciate you being here, as well as any of you guys who have been just enjoying the vibe of these types of live streams. So yeah, Shizazzle, I will be coming back to Twitch very soon, and maybe I would like to stream the coming Sunday. Since you saw Rammstein live a month ago, which songs were you surprised by their performance? I think I was surprised when they did play a piano version of Engel, and some of the members went crowd surfing, which is amazing. Mindful28, will you be picking up Rammstein's Zeit as well? I already have. I have got my pre-ordered vinyl, and I have it on CD, the Digipack book, I guess, type of edition of Zeit. What other songs? I think one of the surprise ones They did play Mein Herr's Brent. And what else did they do that surprised me? I think Sehnsucht, because that's one of my favorite Rammstein songs of all time. And they did play, the obvious hits. They played Sonne to Du hast. They played a few songs from Zeit, and Pussy was really good live. I still love that song. I think that song is better than Deke Tieten, in my opinion. So, yeah, Rammstein are just one of the must-see bands live. I just absolutely adore them. They are just one of the best. I am going to buy a discography from a band that I actually did see from Birmingham's very first Not Fest event a few weeks back. I think a month ago, actually. I went to see a band called Silosis. And I was invited over by one of the support bands who I'm friends with, Harriet. I also did review Profound Morality. If you haven't seen my review of that new Rising Metal Band's EP, check it out. Profound Morality by Harriet. One of the band members invited me over as a guest, and they supported Silosis as well as other bands. But they were amazing. And to know that it's Birmingham's very first Not Fest show, it was brilliant. They have a mini Slipknot museum, which is just like, not really big, but it's just a small section. When I actually did get to see some of the actual worn jumpsuits from any Slipknot era, I saw an actual Iowa beer keg, and I think it's a platinum, a platinum award of the Great Chapter, and I was geeking out. It was just so fucking cool. But yeah, Silosis were fantastic, and I actually had not heard a thing about this band before I went to see them. So that is another band that I'm going to be buying for the collection. Kind of Lost to Me will always be my favorite song, since that's the introduction that got me into Rammstein alongside Links 234. Yeah. I love Silosis. It's cool you got to see them live. It is something to behold. They actually have 2 songs on YouTube which were taken from 2 local compilations. The songs are Number 1 and Third World Remix. If I forget, you'll have to let me know, which maybe I will forget by accident. So, Silosis are a really, really great band. And the sound from those guys was incredible. Brilliant vocals, beautiful shredding guitar tones, and the produced sound through the PA and the speakers, it's just top notch. It's just an amazing experience. And I'm really, really happy and lucky to be going to Birmingham's very first Not Fest show. The Pulse of the Maggots Festival is what it's called, by the way. So that's something. Okay, so like I said, a few more videos, a few more new videos coming along the way. Obviously, I'll make more. My Classic Albums Revisited video for Neil Young's Freedom, Kendrick Lamar's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, a new list of album covers of the worst album covers of all time for a new list. I will be reviewing the new Suede album and Behemoth. As I've said earlier, Devin Townsend. The songs I was referring to are from Relative. Yeah, I see that. The best thing I can compare Relative to is At the Drive-In. At the Drive-In, to me, are a pretty cool band. I don't mind post-hardcore. But if you want me to check them out, Relative, I could give it a shot. Also, with album reactions too. Somebody actually messaged me, comments wise, I think, about doing a reaction to Bonded by Blood by Exodus. And I know that they've got a new album out. Well, it has been out for a while, but I am going to be possibly doing that. I know that Bonded by Blood is known as a thrash classic, but I want to give it a shot. Yes, I do love thrash, but I have not been, so familiar with Exodus. Yet I know some songs. Oh, excuse me. I had no idea Suede was coming out with a new album. I liked their first 3 albums the most. Just to be sure, I actually did find that out on Rate Your Music, but just to be sure, if they are actually releasing a new album. Also, Björk is releasing a new record too, which I am looking forward to because she is one of my favorite musicians of all time. Let's see now. Yes, a new Suede album. Do you collect tapes? I don't have a lot of tapes, unfortunately, but most of them I think have just been used condition. A few Beatles cassettes, and I have a Black Sabbath cassette. Obviously, a Slipknot Iowa cassette. By the way, this is not an original. This is the 20th anniversary re-release of this album to, celebrate it. But I am not one of those people that just likes to collect tapes, to build a collection, because I think that cassette tapes are really fragile, much more than records. I'm more of a vinyl person myself, as well as CDs. Yeah. So I think as well, now that you've mentioned about tapes and me going on for a bit about my collection, I would like to possibly do an overview of my CD collection. I know that I've done a random vinyl collection live stream video in December, but I find that my CD collection has to be done with a new overview. I haven't gotten into Stereolab yet, but I know you have a lot of their albums. What's their best album? My favorite Stereolab album is Dots and Loops, which is a classic record, and Emperor's Tomato Ketchup. I think that's the title of one of their albums. That's another really good one as well. But this has been known as their masterpiece. And I do have these expanded editions on some of their albums. They're one of my favorites as I got into them for the experimental side and electronic stuff. Have you heard of the new metal band Stepper? Not really. I've not heard a lot of new metal. New metal for me was really questionable because it's a genre that I really did like, back in the day when it's like a big thing. I know it was a huge genre in the 90s and the early 2000s. But I don't have a lot of new metal in the collection, and I personally wouldn't just have a plan to buy a lot on that genre, because I think there are other bands in the genre that, yet I do respect their talents, but it just got to me to the point where it's really predictable. Yet alone that I did love some Disturbed and Cold Chamber when I was getting into music. So, anyways, guys, I think I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you very much to the following people. Zach, who had left earlier on. Sedition Through Scorns, Mindful 28, Guitar Storms, who else? Shazazzle, RJCJ Rock. And I really appreciate anybody who has been just interested in what these types of streams have become. And I am looking forward to do another live stream like this in late October. Would you consider Slipknot to be in the new metal genre? Yes, but only for the first 2 albums. Then later on, they went into groovy territory and a bit alternative sounds. But yes, Slipknot is still very relevant in that genre, just like with Limp Bizkit to Old Disturbed and Korn, etc. Yeah. This was a fun stream, Greg. I'm heading out and hope you have a great day. You too, Mindful28, as well as the rest of you guys. And I really appreciate any of you guys who have been tuning in. iOS 21, yes, I actually mentioned it earlier on before you came in here. So, with that being said, guys, I got to get out of here. It's 10:30 in the evening, a little bit early, and a bit shorter than usual. But much love to all of you. Stay positive. You are amazing people. Thank you so much for your dedication and appreciation. You are who you choose to be. Never let anyone judge you or treat you like trash, because you are important. You are amazing by believing in yourselves, and you should stay that way as best as you can. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching. Peace and love, and I'll see you in the next video.